السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صبحكم الله بالخير جميعا. اليوم هو يومنا الثاني والختامي لمؤتمر الإمارات الدولي لرياضة المعاقين 2011، واللي يقام برعاية كريمة من سمو الشيخ محمد بن زايد آل نهيان ولي عهد أبوظبي نائب القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة. هذه الشخصية المعطاءة واللي دومها سباقة بأنها تدعم رياضتنا بشكل عام ورياضة المعاقين بشكل خاص. أعزائي الحضور، مؤتمرنا ومثل ما يعرف أغلبكم بأنه يحتوي على 5 محاور رئيسة، والبداية كانت البارحة من خلال الجلسة الأولى واللي حملت عنوان كيف نخلق مناخا مواتيا لرياضة المعاقين، وتبعتها مباشرة الجلسة الثانية واللي كانت بعنوان التأهيل النفسي والجسدي للمعاقين الرياضيين. واليوم أو الحين جلستنا الثالثة اللي بتأخذ عنوان الاحتراف في رياضة المعاقين. أعزائي، الاحتراف في الرياضة يعد نقلة نوعية للاعب تتيح له المزيد من التقدم في مجال تخصصه، ولا تقل أهمية الاحتراف في رياضة المعاقين عن أهمية في رياضة الأسوياء، لأن الاحتراف يفتح للمعاق آفاق واسعة للمشاركة ببطولات على مستويات عالية، وقد يستطيع الانتقال إلى العالمية عبر احترافه في ذلك مثل غيره من الرياضيين الأسوياء. كما أن الاحتراف يوفر للاعب مصدر دخل جيد ويمنحه مزيد من الوقت للتدرب أكثر وأكثر. الحديث أعزائي يطول في هذا الجانب، وبالتأكيد ضيوفنا الكرام بيكون لهم شأن كبير في هذا المحور. بعرض عليكم على السريع محاورنا ال5 اللي بنتكلم فيها في هذه الجلسة. واقع الاحتراف الرياضي عامة واحتراف رياضة المعاقين خاصة. رقم 2، احتراف رياضة المعاقين خطوة نحو العالمية. المحور الثالث، دور الاحتراف في تطوير أداء اللاعب ومن ثم تحسين أوضاعه الفيزيولوجية والنفسية. المحور الرابع، دور النوادي الرياضية والجهات المعنية في تهيئة الظروف الملائمة لاحتراف الرياضيين المعاقين. وأخيرا بيكون محورنا عن دور الإعلام في تعزيز فكرة الاحتراف وتشجيع المعاقين عليه وتوعية الناس عامة بأهميته. والآن دعوني باسمكم وباسمي أنا محدثكم ياسر محمد العلوي بأن نرحب بالسيدات والسادة المتحدثون في جلستنا، والبداية بتكون مع سعادة ماورا سرينغ الأمين العام لاتحاد رياضات المعاقين والبتر في بريطانيا. الشخصية الثانية هي سعادة ماليني راجا ساغارين الأمين العام للجنة البرلمانية الماليزية. رقم 3 عندي سعادة ويلف مهران رئيس اتحاد رياضة المعاقين بألمانيا. وأخيرا ضيفي بيكون سعادة فاضل المنصوري وهو مدير إدارة الرياضة النوعية في مجلس أبوظبي الرياضي. والحين تتفضل الأستاذة ماورا لتقديم عرض بسيط عن وجهة نظرها في هذه الجلسة. مس ماورا.
Mouse. Okay, thank you. Also 2 clicks. Okay. That's not what they showed me before. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes? Good. Nice smiling faces today. Thank you. I'm here to give you perhaps a little insight to being an international organisation within the Paralympic movement. And my name is Maura Strange, and I'm the Secretary General of the International Wheelchair and Amputee Sports Federation, commonly known as IWAS, and previously known as either the International Stoke Mandeville Games Federation or the International Stoke Mandeville Wheelchair Sports Federation. Basically, I'm going to talk about what we bring to the movement, which is not necessarily the apex of the sport pyramid in the Paralympic movement, but, it has a mind of its own. Basically, what we do, where we feel we need to give support to the countries in the world in regard to services and opportunities for athletes. I can see my whole presentation is flashing away in front of us, and if somebody with a technical mind could come and show me how to slow it down, I'd appreciate it. Okay, I need a mouse. Okay, I found some buttons. Okay. So these are the basic areas that we focus in. Basically, sports. We develop sports up to Paralympic Games status and encourage their independence. In terms of games, we hold annual junior games that go out to host countries within the world, and other sport-specific events. We have a full range of wheelchair fencing program, which is probably another sport that will go independent soon. In regard to services, we have an area on our website that shows the different services that we offer to nations. This is just a typical list of games program sports. Basically, we work with an organising committee to tailor the program to be specific to the requirements of that particular country. Perhaps there are some sports that are more well known in different countries and that they feel a region may have the opportunity to promote. But as you can see, it's fairly varied, but there is the possibility to enter new sports in the programme. Maybe 20 or more years ago, I was governed over 12 different sports, but these have evolved over the years. And as you know, all sports within the Paralympic movement at the moment, especially the Paralympic programme sports, are geared towards eventual integration with their able-bodied counterpart or specific independencies, such as wheelchair basketball, which is an independent federation in its own right. I remember wheelchair basketball when it was actually a committee of ISM-WSF. So I think we can see here that there are many opportunities for nations to become involved in that. As I've mentioned before, wheelchair fencing is the sport that we currently govern. It's not our main purpose in life to govern sports, but we will govern sports up to a level where they can make their own way, giving them assistance and opportunity to show their sport to the world through the Games programme and through their individual sports programmes. Electric wheelchair hockey is a new sport. It's a developing sport. At the moment, basically practiced in Europe, with perhaps Australia being the other country that has recently taken the sport on. And we use the Games as well to promote this opportunity for a sport that covers the needs of, and I do mean severely disabled, sportsmen and women. It is an exciting sport nevertheless, and we hope to showcase this sport again within the Games later this year. So, as you can see, we not only govern sports and run those programmes, but we also act as a major events organiser. And to be a major event organiser, you have to create relationships with various other international sports organisations. And in this way, we have professional partnerships within the Paralympic movement with various bodies, including IPC, other IPSFs, and other international federations that have an integrated parasport section. Our purpose within the effort that we make, the services that we provide, is to guarantee essential steps in an athlete's pathway. And this is why we create these relationships, because not one body can do absolutely everything. But if we all work in concert with each other, we can contribute and be of value within the Paralympic movement to all the athletes in the various nations of the world. As all sports organisations and various major event organisations, we're completely compliant with the World Anti-Doping Code, which is governed by WADA. We apply the code and its rules and regulations throughout all events. We feel this is something that even at an international, maybe you say novice level or intermediate level, an athlete has to be educated and learn disciplines within sport. The World Anti-Doping Code under WADA and the IPC classification code and the emerging IPC medical code are all part of these disciplines that we must adhere to and teach and educate athletes in their practice and implementation. As you can see from here, and this is a short snap particularly of the World Games, which, as you can see, go back to 1952. So next year is our 60th anniversary as an organisation. We have included here the 2-year cycle, because the World Games now are a biennial practice. In the past they have been annual, but this was when we had the facility at Stoke Mandeville that we could use every single year. That's not been possible since 2003, and we now take the Games to different countries in the world. This is an exercise, an education exercise in itself. And you can see there that there's been a variety of countries where we have taken the Games and brought the experience, possibly for many older athletes. I'm not talking about the junior athletes where it also applies, that they are going to new countries, they're having different experiences and gaining confidence on their way in their athlete career. For the Junior Games, which we started in 2005, again at Stoke Mandeville. It's amazing how Stoke Mandeville figures in absolutely everything that is being born and contributing to the Paralympic movement. And you can see, again, we have a regular annual cycle in the Junior Games. And this is where very new athletes cut their teeth. Their first experience, perhaps, of meeting other athletes in a multi-sport competition environment. And so there are many experiences and activities that they can learn, as well as we use the Games not only for competitive opportunity, but also as an educational opportunity to strengthen the infrastructure of the Paralympic movement. It's an opportunity for educating, training and accrediting classifiers and technical officials in sport. And we feel this is a crucial contribution to the infrastructure. I think we have to remember that infrastructure and investment create opportunity, and that's what we're all about. We're creating opportunity for athletes, but we have to have the right infrastructure and opportunity levels to be able to achieve that. This is a brief overview of our current programme in the competitive arena that we govern as well as the Games. Just a brief touch, and I'm sure you all know it, so just a brief touch on the fact that ISMGF created the Paralympic Games many years ago, and a little history of how this developed from a pure spinal cord injured athlete environment to a multidisability environment. Again, this slide focuses on I never was good at technology, so please bear with me. Okay, these are some of the benefits to organising committees and hosting nations for holding world or junior games, and I've touched on a few of these benefits on previous slides. But I think that you all know, let's use the example actually here of the United Arab Emirates. A number of years ago, we struck up a relationship with the Dubai Special Sports Club, and we worked out a strategy to bring focus to the United Arab Emirates and their athletes. And we're very pleased to say that the culmination of this, and we started small and we built up bigger. So this year, the United Arab Emirates has hosted the Junior World Games in Dubai a few weeks ago, and we will go to Sharjah at the end of November, beginning of December, for the World Games. And I'm sure that our host here will tell you that the United Arab Emirates has been able to use this opportunity as a platform for other things as well. So that's part of our life as a major event organisation. For the services, which you can see a lot more about on the website, we have an event management system, and we have different service packages that are available not just to national member organisations, but to other organisations that may have an interest in getting information or being involved in some way. It sounds, I have to say that IWAS is a fragilely funded and a very slimly resourced organisation. What we do have is a knowledge and the capacity to work together in a very professional manner between volunteer experts and paid staff. We have continuity. People know where we are. They know what we stand for. And I believe that we have respect from the nations because we certainly respect them and their objectives. And we're willing always to discuss and find a way to help. Thank you.
جزيل الشكر لسعادة ماورا سترينج الأمين العام لاتحاد رياضة المعاقين والبتر في بريطانيا. لو أن أخذت وقت زيادة شوية، وواثق أن ضيوفي القادمين ما رايحين يأخذون أكثر من 10 دقائق. بالتأكيد أعزائي هناك أسئلة، فالأسئلة هذه بنخليها لنهاية الجلسة. تتفضل الحين ضيفتي الثانية سعادة ماليني راجا ساجارين الأمين العام للجنة البارالمبية الماليزية.
Of course, I won't be taking too much of time, limited 10 minutes only. A very good morning to all of you who are present here. I am Malini, the Secretary General of Asian Paralympic Committee. As my president made the presentation yesterday, Asian Paralympic Committee is one of the regional organizations of IPC, which is parallel to Olympic Council of Asia. We have 41 member nations altogether, and APC has been actively promoting the sports for the persons with a disability in Asia. I am very much pleased to be present in front of you to present a paper on professionalism in parasports. In the perspective of APC as a non-profit governmental organization, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the host, the UAE Paralympic Committee, as one of the APC member nations who have successfully organized this international conference, which has led to a lot of input in these past 2 days. When we are talking about professionalism, it covers a very wide area and very much into academic session. Here, I'm not going to touch or discuss from the academic point of view, but we'll be focusing more on practical point of view in terms of managing a non-profit and NGO organization perspective, which in our case is APC. Since APC has many products on its own, for example, Asian Paragames, Asian Youth Paragames, 25 APC Regional Sport Championships, and Asian Winter Paragames is in the making, we need and have to manage our organization in a very professional way due to the high expectation from not only our APC member nation, but also the host cities, which involves the government. Professionalism versus volunteerism. As I mentioned, we will avoid academic discussion here and will be more focusing on practical point of view. In reality, since APC is operated based on volunteer basis, we require professional volunteers to run the organization in our day-to-day management. There is a high demand, professional standard in managing sports for profit and tourism objective. That is in reality, for example, the sports like golf, soccer, tennis, motorsport, cricket, basketball, and etc. In another category, we have amateurism and volunteerism, managing sports thriving on amateurism and also volunteerism. Example, councils, clubs, committees, and competitions at various grassroots levels to state, national, regional, and even international level. In this case, APC falls into this amateurism and volunteerism category. Generally and currently, all the parasports organizations across Asia and their activities, including competitions, are mostly based on amateurism and volunteerism basis. Examples of skilled volunteers involved in the Paralympic sports: coaches and instructors at grassroots clubs, states and national, classifiers and technical officials, sports administrators and team managers, including chef de missions, office bearers and other sports leaders, for example, presidents, secretary general, executive committee members, and etc., etc. Here we are talking the expected personnel professionalism in parasports. This is what we have in our organizational level. The paid managers and executives at organizational level, which is their role is to promote and develop, to coordinate and monitor, to administer, to do reports and follow-ups. Minimum requirement expected from all these professionals: administrative skills, communication skills, organizational skills, sports knowledge, and above all, of course, integrity. Minimum role expectation of a sports organization for rating consideration. We must have a good administration